We're going to call this one the
Why do
Ros...
we like it? It looks like a bong.
It is a bong, isn't it?
I have a story about a bong.
About a bong? Like Bongzilla bong? I gotta know. Tell us.
No, the other one.
How many are there?
How many are there?
One.
I got to know even more now. Please,
Whatever.
enlighten us, Chavez.
I once went to a skate park where there's
Like with like little manta rays? Like
Skates, because manta rays are sometimes
Yeah,
skates. Stingrays.
yeah,
et cetera.
stingrays,
I
yeah,
get it.
the
devil
ones
rays.
with wheels.
Pun.
Oh,
Skate.
skate.
Yes. There's a group of 4 people that I didn't really look at their faces because that wasn't really that important to me, but they're following me. So then I stopped and asked them why, and they said, "Hey bro, can I try your scooter?"
And let's clarify, you are homeschooled, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, it just adds a little bit more to where the rest of the story is
dynamic.
going. Yeah.
The dynamic.
Yes.
And they said, hey bro, what?
Can I try your scooter? It looks so cool. And like, I didn't really feel like saying no because then they just keep following me around. And then he's like, he takes something out from under his shirt and he's like, "Here, hold this while I do it." And one of the other friends like runs by and grabs it out of my hand. He's like, "You don't want your mom seeing you holding that."
Your mom.
Yeah. That's the exact words.
Yeah.
And you didn't know what one of those.
And you didn't know what it was.
You didn't know what you're holding.
How did
No.
you know when you knew? When you knew?
Because I remembered the shape after he showed me a picture of one later after like 3 months.
Oh, so like you were like, was this it?
Yeah.
Kind of like a police lineup.
I
He
think
was
I
just
was-
showing me like
I was doing like the 1990s, like don't do drugs kind
Yeah.
of thing, and I showed him the picture, and then like the lights came on.
He was like, that's what it was. It was a glass. Oh, it was a bong.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of the Conspiracy Kings, and this week we're going to tackle Roswell, 1947. Do you know who was president in 1947?
Truman, you just told me that.
I did, because we read notes.
I have notes too.
You
Do
know
you
what-
have notes?
Do you have notes? You know what's
I
funny?
have 2.
Yeah, I don't know much about Truman, but what do you think Donald...
Wait. He said he has 2 notes. I want him to elaborate. What are 2 notes?
Tell us about these notes.
Both?
Oh, you get to see both.
Because we're not cheating.
I'm trying to do cross-eyed, but I can't.
Roswell, 1947, Little Green Men, crash landing. Like that's kind of like the birth
Weather
of
balloon,
the modern.
yeah, that
Gotcha.
type of thing. It was the it was. You're absolutely right. It was the birth of the modern era of the UFO conspiracy theorist, and it actually spawned the word ufologist,
Ufologist.
which I think that's where you go. You go to the doctor to get your pee checked out.
That's
No, that's a urologist. Oh, my bad.
Ufologist. UFO. We should put the word right down here because it is a bizarre word. It should say
Euphemism?
U dot F dot O. Ologist, but it's just regular capital UFO.
Euthanasia.
Ufologist.
No, it's not you. It's ufologist. It's kind of like, it's not zoologist, it's zoologist. It's
Yeah.
that same principle. You pronounce the first 2, and then you let the third letter bleed into
I
ologist.
think the English language is a
Zoologist.
conspiracy theory.
We should cover that. So, yeah. So, welcome back. We're here to talk about the meat of the program. Which
Where
was
were we? Like, why are we welcome back? Where did everybody go?
From last week, dude.
Oh. Wasn't there just an
Which
intro
it
just
wasn't
now?
last week. It was like 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
Whoa! So we're here. We talked about Area 51 the first episode. We're going to talk about Roswell, which was the beginning of the
I
beginning.
really want to acknowledge that we're still all the same people here that was just here just like 30 seconds ago.
Absolutely, because it's you, Surf King. It's. Well, I'm sorry. Who are you? Are you HB Cooper?
Marvel fan?
HB Cooper, Marvel fan, and I'm Bodie McBoatface, and welcome back. And we're going to talk about Roswell, the Roswell crash. What do you guys know about the Roswell crash? Or do you want me to tell you about the Roswell crash?
I know absolutely nothing, but I'm so interested.
Okay, so in July of 1947, what some would say an alien spacecraft crash landed in Roswell, New Mexico, or in the outskirts of it in the desert on a ranch. You look like you want to say something there.
It didn't even happen in Roswell.
No, it was not like in the movie theater or anything like that. It was like, yeah, because, Southwest, man, that's where it all happens. Tornadoes hit trailer parks, they don't hit buildings. UFOs hit deserts.
Just rounded up to Roswell.
Yeah, you got to round it up. So apparently a UFO crashed there. That's what some would say. Some people say that, that there were bodies. There was wreckage. There was a lot of wreckage, and but the government or the Air Force got involved shortly thereafter, and they started convulsing and like weird hiccup type things. And it was strange.
Like the bodies did? Did
They
they
were like,
really?
yeah, they were like, and but so it's funny. We got into this discussion last episode that shortly thereafter Roswell, that's when the Air Force became its own branch and separated from the Army because there are a lot of things involved with that. But the Air Force immediately came out and said, "Oh no, it was not a spacecraft. It was a weather balloon." And see this image here at the bottom of the screen that we're going to insert later. Of said weather balloon that looks like a birthday balloon. It is no, it's down here. It's down here.
Right here?
It's right here. Right here. Here.
It's an image of a weather balloon.
Yeah, image of a weather balloon that looks like a birthday balloon.
So where did
Two
the
guys
spacecraft
chuckling.
go?
Well, some would say that the government took it to Hangar 18 in Wright-Patterson, and I believe it's Dayton, Ohio, and they began to reverse engineer it, which some would say also that it was once again brought to Area 51 outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, which is about an hour and a half northwest.
It could be Nevada, it could be Ohio. I'm not a geography wizard, but
Very
right
close.
next to
They're
close
very,
to
very
each other.
close. Yeah. I would agree.
And then they just said it was a weather balloon. Is that like a, what do you call the thing where you go in the basket and the thing?
A balloon?
A hot air balloon.
Hot
Hot air balloon.
Is that a hot air balloon,
No.
essentially? What's a weather balloon?
A weather balloon, I guess, was a high altitude gizmo that would detect storms or whatever. But
so
it's
spacecraft, weather balloon.
well, yeah, I know.
different.
If you
They're
saw
very
the image, it's laughable. But also, but years later, but it's funny because this happened in 1947, and me growing up in my life, I was like, that's when it all began. That's when UFOs began. But in my research, it did not begin until the 70s when a lieutenant colonel said that he said he was at the crash site. He said it was not a weather balloon. He said it was an alien aircraft. Bodies were recovered. A craft was recovered, and that the government started reverse engineering it. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't until like 94 that the government came out and said, "Oh, it was a nuclear surveillance device for the Russians back in late 47 to see if they could detect." But it was like the government was very slow to release what their reaction was to what was released to the public, which it's kind of strange if you think about it. Am I right?
It sounds like a cover-up.
It does sound
of
like a
some
cover-up. The conspiracy guy in me, it says that, yeah, it's a cover-up because it seems like they were always deflecting what the public or what witnesses were saying to say it was something else.
Of course.
That's
what they do.
I mean, there are several theories. I mean, there's the weather balloon theory. There's the nuclear distant early warning thing, which in 1947, what kind of distant early warning could you have with a friggin' balloon?
What's a distant early?
Distant early warning. Not dissident. There were no dissidents.
Distant early.
Well, it's funny because there were certain people that said, "No, don't be sorry. This is a learning experience for everybody."
A distant early.
So,
Keep on, Professor.
Yes, sir. But the funny thing is that people reported bodies, right, at the crash site,
Yeah.
and there was even a rancher that said he took the disc that was found and housed it somehow, and then eventually the government came and took it. But the funny thing is that there were bodies there, right? And the government said, "Oh no, if there were bodies there, it was because we were dropping crash test dummies,
How convenient.
Right.
from the balloon to see what they would do." All right. Was it a weather balloon?
Oh
Was
my
it a
gosh.
nuclear detection device,
Yeah.
or was it a crash test dummy device? So it's bizarre stuff.
What makes you wonder, why do they need to test how bodies react when they hit the ground from high heights?
I mean, I would think they'd have data like that from World War II. I mean, it's just
People died.
We were
This
just
isn't-
dropping
Yeah, I know.
bodies
This
to see what they would do when they hit the ground.
They weren't real though. They were crash tests.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they weren't real. But they probably did that too. Realize.
Not that I'd be laughing at that. what I did. Sorry.
That was a sad joke.
Somebody died in that.
Somebody died in that joke.
So basically, the government just wants to hide every tiny detail that happens.
Once again,
And people believe it. They believe whatever they say.
They do. Yeah, I have two sides as far as the conspiracy kings go. It's there's the logical side, and then there's the deep guy that says, "Oh, this is happening."
Yeah.
And you got to keep them in check. So obviously there's the conspiracy king guy says there's totally aliens there, and it's just I don't know. We can get into what do we call that segment?
The segment for that is, are you buying what they're flying?
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, so we'll get into that. 1947 was like the advent of what they call the gravity propulsion device, obviously with the UFO crashing in 47.
Newton.
Yes, that was the man that invented gravity
The man who invented gravity.
and the fig.
How did he invent gravity?
I mean, but what a legacy, though. He invented figs and gravity.
And was also in Greece.
The figs, though? I don't understand.
Fig Newton.
Fig Newton.
and he was in Greece.
Greece. Olivia Newton's John. Olivia Newton.
You know what was in there?
Scooby's Doo.
Yes. And
Gomer's Pile.
yeah.
This is Seth Rogen. By the way, I saw Paul. Very good. It blends the what's his name? Simon Pegg, Nick Frost.
Yes.
The British movies. Who's the director of
Edgar
those?
Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright. Watch all the Edgar Wright films.
Kind of combined the Hollywood comedy. Who was popular? When did it come out? Like 2012 or something like that.
Yeah.
What comedians like Jason Bateman?
Wasn't Bill Hader in that?
Bill Hader
was
in it, and combined that with the British comedians who probably were, I don't know if they're the top comedians or top movie comedians anyway, and mashed them together, and it worked pretty well. The first half of it was Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. The first maybe 20 minutes or so, it felt like the old guy. Who's the director?
Of that movie?
You just said
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
And then it kind of moved into more of a Hollywood feel, but combining the British and American comedians, I thought it was pretty good. And then Seth Rogen as the alien himself.
It was great. And don't forget Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig.
Yeah. What was her? Cloudy Eye? Cloudy Eye Susie?
Yeah.
So I would say Paul, the movie Paul, one thumb up.
Just one? Out of what?
My other hand's over here.
So 9? That'd be 7. That'd be 6.
If you had another thumb, would you give it?
There. Oh,
All
so you're
right.
saying it's good.
All
Okay.
right.
You're going. I thought you were going
But
out
that
of
was Siskel and Ebert's thing. They
the
did
two
thumbs up. So I didn't.
I was going off the IMDb where it's like 5 stars out of 10 or whatever.
5 stars.
What would you give it out of the IMDb rating?
As comedies go, I mean, it's really tough. Since the 90s, it's really tough to beat comedies from the 90s, in my opinion. Maybe that's because that's when I was still a teenager. Give it a 4, but it was R-rated, so it had to, it cheated a little bit
vulgar.
by going a vulgar.
Yeah.
Was. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. No, it's a good watch.
It made me want aliens to exist.
Interesting.
It did.
We got ourselves a little Fox Mulder over here.
Yeah, you want to believe?
I want to.
You want to believe.
And yeah, I do.
So,
It's a big universe.
it is a big universe. I believe it's kind of like unending,
What's Unending?
the universe.
Is that a movie
No.
called Unending?
No.
Where is
They
everybody?
should make one.
Where is everybody?
I don't know. So,
Yeah.
in the 1970s, a lieutenant colonel came out and said, hey, that was not a weather balloon there. That was a crashed craft. There were non-human bodies there. And the government immediately came out with a press release, said, oh, that's when they said, it was just nuclear deterrent. It was nuclear surveillance. I don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I think something happened there. I mean, I could get into. Should I get into the Stalin, Mengele theory, or you want to take a little break for right now?
I think we could take a break, but you have me on the edge of my seat. What are you talking about?
Oh, after these messages, we shall get back to it.
Okay, well, let's break.
Let's break.
And now it's time for...
How funny is that? It's funny because it's a pun.
Now it's time for How Punny Is That? Josh, what's your favorite alien entree?
Beef Roswelling.
Because it's a steak. It's Roswell. And he's got aliens in it. Oh my god, are you alright, dude? Miss Marvel.
I'm good.
What's your favorite alien soda?
Canada Dry. Ginger alien.
Oh,
It's an ale.
please! He's
It's
on
alien.
fire! Oh my gosh! Alright,
Crack myself
Did you
up.
have a favorite thing to put on top of salad?
oh, absolutely. Skinwalker ranch dressing. But just in all honesty, because we talked a lot about Trump and all, what's your favorite politician?
Sarah Palin. Yes, that would probably be my favorite as well.
Senator
She's the
Palin.
greatest alien Alaskan senator.
That would explain a lot.
It would. It would. Stalin Mangala segment.
Do that again.
The clap or the...
I love it.
You don't need to do the clap again.
No, that was just for his reference, for our reference.
Oh.
Yeah.
This isn't going to make the final cut.
No, this will not be in it.
Okay.
All right,
What were
we
you
go.
talking about?
Hey, welcome back. We're going to talk about the theory about Joseph Stalin and actually Joseph Mengele, Angel of Death theory about Roswell. Some people say that obviously the Russians got Germans from East Germany, because that's where Germans are from, at the end of World War II. You didn't know this, did you?
No, but
Hence the
didn't
name Germans.
Germans also have Russian scientists years before that?
No.
The same way?
No, it was not. It was not a reciprocating relationship.
That question was useless.
You know, communists. It's all about taking. So, in a quest for superiority, some people speculate that the Russians used Mengele to manipulate young Russian or German children to make them look like aliens and sent them into a craft to crash into the desert of America to create fear and create propaganda and to dismantle the so what I'm looking for.
I don't understand though. They're like, what's the fear part? They're like, I'm so scared of Russians. I mean aliens. Like, did they want us to think that they were the same thing?
No, I think it was more so to destabilize. That there's something out there. I think that the Russians relied on Americans as being Christian, and that you introduce an X factor.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay,
Or-
so the existence of God is no longer
Yeah, there's
because there's little gray men.
Yeah,
Or green.
green.
Or
I
children.
think then it was green. I don't know when gray is. That's green gray.
Children.
Children. They said they were like not genetically modified, but physically modified to look like aliens to create this. And actually, I've read research that the Russians knew about. Obviously, about the Orson Welles War of the Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what spawned that, because that little segment that Orson Welles did created such panic, and they figured if they actually presented evidence to America, it
Right.
would totally destabilize.
You don't think it was already established though in some way? Like I saw something that really explored the 1800s, and that's where science fiction really picked up. Science fiction in the 1800s with cowboys going out west. And by the way, why is it always out west that these kind of things happen? I'm not
The
really certain.
Flatlands.
But I heard that cowboys were actually quite literal. They're out there, they're with the cattle, whatever it is that they're herding,
Sure.
and they're reading.
Mm-hmm.
And they're reading in the dark by a campfire. I mean, you can imagine how creepy that
Books
is.
or tablets.
What kind of tablet?
Like 10 Commandments, or are you talking like iPads?
Charlton Heston. But they're reading
My cold dead hands.
So you can imagine the imagination would run wild. I know I'd be freaked out reading like creepy sci-fi stuff.
Absolutely.
And you're out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe you have a 6-shooter and that's it.
Heck,
and
I read Stephen King in my bedroom. A little pea comes out.
Is that, who do you go to see? A ufologist for that?
Yeah, urologist.
Gotcha. But that's where the folklore, I guess, if we're going to call it folklore or conspiracy theory, came from.
Or myth.
Yeah. That's probably for some original 1800s.
I swung and I kept mything.
Is that a Mike Tyson myth?
Yep, it is.
I feel like you're either talking like with a lisp at this point.
Myth. It's swung and I
We just
missed.
have to be probably like this now.
It's really not that funny.
But
And take 2. So really, the Cowboys really just started seeing things, and there's documented things where they start seeing things in the night sky,
Shooting
flashes,
star, meteorite,
and whatever. And it's
Right.
really the imagination really starting to kick in.
But weren't you telling me earlier last month that
Trump was the president during that time.
Yes,
I was a cowboy,
the greatest cowboy of all time.
I am Bat Cowboy Trump, and the greatest Trump.
I would spay cats. Spay to me.
What?
I don't know.
Cowboys?
I'm trying to make a joke. Work with me, folks. Work with me. No, but isn't there a report or evidence or evidence of a report of about a UFO in the 1800s? Wasn't there something like where it crashed into a windmill?
It seems really legit. It was a judge in a town where he claimed that he had all the pieces and everything.
And they buried the alien somewhere, right?
Yes,
But
yeah.
nobody knows
There's
where.
a tombstone, and then when they went to check it out,
It says Al
investigate.
I.N. His name was Al.
it's always like in the flatlands with the windmills and the props and the...
He said nothing like a good piece of hickory. Hey, I'm here for you, Dirty Bill. What was his name? What was it? Unforgiven. I
never
don't
saw
know.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
It's a good movie.
I didn't
If
see
you guys
that.
never seen Unforgiven, you should see Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. Who's in that?
Morgan Freeman and Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman. That's great.
Put that on the list.
There's a lot of drinking involved in that. It's about Clint Eastwood. He used to be an alcoholic and he would kill people. His name was like Bill Money, and he was like renowned for like getting drunk and killing people. But he cleans himself up. He had a family, and his wife died. And then he goes into this town where Gene Hackman lives, and Gene Hackman's just a jerk, and he kills Morgan Freeman's character. So Clint Eastwood gets in, like usually superheroes, they put on their super suit, they get their hammer, but
Right.
Clint Eastwood's superpower was like just pounding booze. And he goes in and kills the whole bar. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like a drunk superhero.
You haven't
Yeah.
seen this?
You have seen it?
You haven't seen this?
I haven't
Unforgiven?
seen it.
It's like 20 years old. It's amazing. It's a great movie.
No.
He won an Oscar for it, actually.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, watch it. If you haven't watched it, because I'm pretty sure you guys have, but
Yeah.
not these two.
Is there any forgiveness in it?
There is no forgiveness. There's that's because it was not like little forgiveness.
Sounds sad.
It is a sad movie. It's a good movie. So where were we? So do you want to move on to our next segment?
What segment is that?
We're going to call
I
it
just know we're talking about cowboys.
Cowboys and Aliens. Another good movie.
That
Is there a
that
movie called
legit
Cowboys
is
and
really
Aliens?
good. James Bond.
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking Roger Moore was in that. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
Daniel
Sean
Craig.
Connery.
Yes.
Yes, the aliens. They were swishing. I swish when I talk when I see aliens.
Yes. Those are the last aliens.
I feel like the worse you can make a Sean Connery impression, the better it is.
I'm pretty sure. But if you do
Sure.
can you do a Daryl Hammond doing a Sean Connery?
Daryl Hammond, does anybody know who Daryl Hammond
Yeah, from
Wasn't she
Celebrity
like in
Jeopardy.
Mermaids?
is? Celebrity Jeopardy.
He was the one that did the original Sean Connery.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. I see you.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, your mom's a chic
I
duck.
thought she was in the Mermaid movie where she became
Daryl
like a real
Hannah.
person.
Daryl
Oh
Hannah.
my goodness.
so confused.
I love it. I love it.
That was probably the best unscripted thing we've said all day.
It
Thank
is.
you, Miss Marvel.
Yes, Miss Marvel delivers.
Miss
That's why
Marvel.
she makes the big bucks. So what do you think that
So
like
Daryl Waddy?
Daryl Hannah?
Oh, okay.
She was what was her name in Kill Bill? I can't remember. She had a crucial role in Kill Bill. She lost 2 eyes.
Daryl Hannah
That
was
was a
in
good
that?
movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Daryl Hannah was in Kill Bill?
Absolutely. She was the one that killed oh my gosh. She sword fought the bride in the trailer and she pops her other eyeball out.
She was already one-eyed to begin with.
Yeah, because her master took her eye.
Yep.
And then remember, and then she poisoned them with like poisoned fish. No?
No, I don't. I remember in Adam's Family, they're all looking over the crib and they're like, what's the husband's name?
Gomez.
Gomez. He has your mother's eyes, and then she's like, please get those out of his mouth.
Hey, what do you think Bane would sound like as 007?
You just want me to try it? 007. Which one?
Like,
Lots of swishing because you can't understand
it's
what's
like, yes, Miss Moneypenny.
Yes, I am the greatest.
Yes, it's just good as I'm always Trump. It's just Trump in the end. I'm the greatest of the Trumps.
You know, I think I want to go propose a business idea to Donald Trump.
What's that?
It's like a high, it's a truck that carries high capacity payload, and you can bring it to things, and it goes up and it releases, and then you can fill it back. It's called the Dump Trump. Do you think you'd go for it? You think you'd go for it? No. Nah. Is that your rim shot?
Closest I can get to it.
Okay, fair enough.
Because Trump was supposed to sound like truck.
Yeah. So, let's get into Are You Buying What They're Flying?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
All right, let's start with you, Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that an alien spacecraft actually crashed in Roswell, 1947?
I do.
You do?
I do.
You really do?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that this spacecraft was the beginning of gravity propulsion, our technology as we know today? Phones, computers. You think we're in this new age of technology based off of that crash?
It was either that or Sir Isaac Newton.
I do.
Really?
I do.
I like it.
Because
I
there
like
was
it.
such a big leap after that.
There was a huge leap because, in 1945, we're flying propellers
Mm-hmm.
and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Come 1950s, we have jet propulsion. I won't
And
get
yet,
into the
why don't they want us to know that that came from an outside source?
Even though the Germans had jet propulsion in the mid-40s, early to mid-40s.
After they lost the war.
They had
Spoiler
before-
alert, sorry about that. Germans
Spoilers.
lost.
I did not see that coming. I mean, yeah, the Germans had jet propulsion in the mid-early 40s. So, I mean, you could bounce back and forth on that argument, but it's no, anti-gravity propulsion. It's no, this stuff here, which we may get into, processing technology and landing on the moon and that type of stuff soon. But that's coming soon. But so you honestly believe that there are extraterrestrial beings in this universe,
I do.
or multiverse?
This is a
I do.
strong...
Don't you? Do you?
Well, wait, we're gonna get to me. We'll get to
Okay.
me. All right. Let me. Do you believe
I
that?
do.
Do you believe these aliens are from space, or from the spaces between spaces?
I've
So like
never heard it
alternate
phrased that way.
realities,
Are more like
multiverse.
interdimensional.
So they didn't travel from far away. They traveled maybe close by. Are they us in an alternate?
Maybe
Reality?
timeline, reality,
So
I don't
future?
think that.
Sure.
I think they're just out there.
or maybe they run the Matrix.
Ooh. I'd like to think I'm a D battery. But if we were really gonna talk about that, I mean, can we break it down in categories as far as, okay, they came from a long way away,
Sure.
or they came from an alternate
Zeta Reticuli, I believe, is what they say they're
What
from.
does that mean?
That's the universe that people say they are from. Zeta Reticuli.
Okay,
That's
sounds
where
Latin.
the Greys, which we haven't even broken down.
Roswell Grays.
Roswell Greys.
I kept talking about Roswell and kept it in the same storyline through this entire time. That's amazing. But if we really were going, so that they traveled a long way, alternate dimension or reality or universe, I'm not really sure the difference of all those.
Wormhole.
Came from some wormhole where it's something
Stargate.
timeline. I like Stargate. And then you also have future. So future could be future of any of those or future us.
You got to remember that in some theories there is no future. There is no linear
Right.
timeline. It's a circle.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all.
Yeah, you
just-
got to remember
yeah.
that mankind invented time.
Right.
That's how we
That is
measure
true.
our existence.
Because we need some type of.
Yeah,
order.
we have to
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
have some type of measurement, some baseline.
There was a show called Fringe, which, by the way, started well, ended pretty well, wrapped it up entirely. I've never seen like a beginning to end.
It was all
Where-
good. Joshua Jackson was there from beginning to end, so it was all good.
I've seen a bit. It's a good show. It's kind of like X-Files on
It
crack.
was good.
One
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
story wrapped in it, and yeah, it just contained itself
Yeah,
really
the
well.
timeline was pretty.
Spoiler alert! Just shut off right now if you haven't seen it yet, and go. It ends up those people were people from Earth, from the future, that were coming back to trying to save things. They basically,
It's kind of like Tenet
I don't.
Yeah.
in a weird way. Tenet's much more diabolical.
They didn't. They were trying to salvage something, but I think they had taken away a lot of their humanity.
Humanity.
And humidity. Oh,
Yeah.
They don't live in Florida?
They were very wrinkly.
It's so hot. But it's not hot anymore. But it's like the desert heat.
So they were trying to really bring back their own humidity, which would include.
Yeah.
Did I say it again?
You did.
Yes, they had no humanity.
They couldn't even like
They didn't feel anything. They
taste a
didn't-
lot of like. Remember the
Yeah.
one guy would put like he
Less
made an order of
salt.
9 jalapenos on his sandwich so
I thought
he
it
could
was
eat
like
it.
salt something.
Yeah. And that too, so that they could feel more. Like they were
Yeah,
just like
they
their
had their
sensitivity,
senses.
their emotions,
It's like
everything.
Captain Barbosa and like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, remind me again. It's been a while.
He was like, it's been so long since I felt the wind on my face. I can't even taste this apple. Why do I sound like Donald Trump? This is the greatest apple in the world.
So yeah, basically these alien, or they're not aliens, they're humans that had
Right.
I don't know, did they clone themselves or something? But that's where, if we talked about before about Stargate, they have the Roswell Gray Stargate, the TV show, where they kept cloning themselves to salvage their race, but they went a little too far.
And started getting diluted or polluted.
Yeah, they were fine, but they just started dying off. It didn't work. They weren't able to
It
keep
was like,
Right.
gotcha.
keep going.
Right.
But so I mean, there's so many reasons for a visitation, I guess you call it, of aliens, whatever, coming back to greet us because of things just going wrong or going bad. Like Elon Musk right now. Elon Musk, what's his greatest thing going
He's
on?
an alien.
You think he's an alien?
Sure.
All right, so he's paving the way so that we have a place on Mars. Ultimately, I think that's his ultimate goal. We have a place on Mars in case Earth fails.
You have these, and not that I subscribe to that, but I want to subscribe to it. The Elon Musk, that he's got this, this mind that is way far better than mine, than yours, and yours. You have your Einsteins.
He's 2 moves ahead of us.
Yeah, I think
Why
he's
is
more
that?
than that. Yeah, and it's just I don't know where I'm going with it, but it's just like sometimes I think there are the conspiracy me once again. There are things happening in the shadows to make humanity different, maybe better or for worse.
Right.
But then the non-conspiracy side of me says that this is a bunch of crap and coincidence and whatnot. So
When was the last recorded instance
UFO
that
occurrence?
happened. Yeah.
The
UFO occurrence.
last 2-3 years, the Tic Tacs and the gimbals there that
Okay.
the Navy has and the government has officially released as they don't call them UFOs anymore. They call them what? Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Something like that.
They stopped
know
calling them UFOs because the fringe.
UA.
UAVs even, yeah, because the fringe, because UFO became such a trash can word for alien, you know.
Right, like
Even
no
though
one
it's
takes
more-
it seriously.
Yeah, it's more of a
Yeah.
term. We don't. It's not
Yeah.
alien, but we just don't know what it is.
Right.
It's that type of thing.
But you would think with today's technology that you would take it more seriously if there was some type of,
You know,
like sighting or whatever.
I don't know what to believe anymore based on what I see on a computer or on TV because there's so much
Everything can be
crap out
messed
there.
with. Yeah.
There's so much crap out there. But so, Surf King, what do you think? Are you buying? Just not
The
enough.
leap. The leap is key.
There is.
But yeah, they've done.
It's a huge gap.
If there is a giant conspiracy theory of an actual landing, they've done a phenomenal job of covering everything up. We can't put our hands on anything other than the byproduct of we have microprocessors and things like that.
It's a funny leap that we've made so much progress in the last 70 years versus what 2,000 years of recorded history.
Right. Why
That's-
so much in such a short amount of time?
I mean, I know they say that we stand on the shoulders of gods
Mm-hmm.
or kings. You know, we keep building and building and building, but I don't know. It's a little too. I don't subscribe to coincidence. 99% of the time.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard to wrap your brain around what could be or what is happening, that type of thing. But
I agree.
But they really should have stood on the shoulders of me. They're the greatest.
I have the greatest shoulders of all time.
The number one shoulders.
He does have pretty good shoulders, y'all.
What's the suits? Everybody's got great shoulders in those suits.
Are you saying he's padded?
Oh, their suits are totally padded.
You know what I would say? Fake shoulders.
Are the greatest.
Instead of fake news, you know.
Oh yeah, it's fake shoulders. My suits are made in China.
That's right. China.
So there you have it. That's our take on Roswell, and
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. I mean, there was some broken glass. There's a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. Thanks for joining us. The bong's gone. This one. But I hope you join us next time on the next episode of The Conspiracy Kings. See you soon.